do please come in. Make yourself comfortable. It's lovely to see you. I hope you are doing well. But we will get into that this session, won't we? Just pardon me while I arrange my notes for you and look at the survey you filled out in the waiting room. Like I said, please just make yourself comfortable. We want this to be a very relaxing environment for you. If you're feeling at all anxious, please do not hesitate to ask me to change things up if we need to switch rooms or slow things down, whatever. Please do not hesitate to tell me. Alright? Really what we've found is that in a lot of our sessions, people get anxious and don't feel comfortable sharing the truth of what's going on in their lives, and so the sessions end up not being very good, and we're doing our best to adjust accordingly in our clinic so you can feel comfortable. So yeah, I just want to reiterate, if at any time you need to slow things down, just let me know. There's no judgment here. Alright? Okay. Alright, I see everything's kind of checking out. The purpose of the survey is really to just make sure there's no confusion, no miscommunication between you, our client, and me, your counsellor. So I'm just going through your answers now. If I see anything that I want to bring up, I will do so and we can just discuss that. But not right now. Right now I want to get to know you a little bit. Just establish a bit of rapport. So, one moment. First, what brings you here today? Alright. Understood. Okay. I would just like to say that I'm very proud of you for coming in today. It takes a lot of bravery and just resolve to finally, pull the trigger and go to therapy. So I'm really proud of you. Let's see. Have you been to counselling in the past? And what was your experience like? Was it good? Was it bad? Just briefly, what was it like for you? Alright. Understood. Alright. So, how many sessions did you have? Your previous counselling? did it achieve the results you were looking for? Can you just tell me briefly what went right in those counselling sessions for you? Sorry to interrupt you there, but I just want to make sure that you've been to 5 sessions. Alright. So, what went wrong in those sessions for you? Can you tell me anything that has really stuck with you from therapy in the past? A phrase or particular exercise? Anything, really? Very interesting. That's good. I tell that to my clients as well. So it sounds like good advice. Yeah? Right. So is that it? Or is there anything I should know as your counsellor that you want differently this time round? For sure. Absolutely. I will do my very best. Right, next. What is the problem from your perspective? This issue that is bringing you in today. It's good to always remember that we don't all have the same perspective on things, and yours is unique. Someone else might have a completely different perspective, but that does not mean that your experience is invalid. And I really would love to hear it from your perspective. What is the problem? Okay. Right. So before we talk in depth about the problem, I would like to get to know you a little bit. So thank you for answering that question, but I'm going to backtrack just a smidge. How would you describe your personality? Trying to be as objective as humanly possible. It's quite difficult to do that for ourselves, but give it a go. Is it easy for you to make new friends, or are you a little bit more reserved? Let's see, are you more an introvert, an extrovert? You find it easy to get along with people, or quite difficult? Depends. So let me ask you, who is most important to you in your life? And do you think that they would describe you in the way you've just described yourself? Interesting. No, I don't mean to insinuate that I don't believe your description, your self-depiction. But I do think it's very difficult for me, for you, for everyone to accurately describe ourselves. And so that's why I asked the question. I know you did your best to describe your personality, but sometimes we think, how would my mother or my father perceive me? Little things that we hadn't considered before become more apparent to us. So it's good to know. For me, I like to think I'm very organised, but when I think about how my mother might perceive me, she might not agree with that assessment, and so I have to be honest with myself. Right, what is your relationship like with the people you work with? You see them outside of work at all, or you just... Who are you closest to among those people? Great. Do you find yourself ever getting irritable, or are you more reserved in your emotions at work? Right. Coming back to the problem that you are here for, how does this issue, this problem, make you feel? How does it make you feel? So, does it make you feel discouraged, burdened, happy, a feeling preferably than thought? Okay. And there's no right or wrong answer. You can really just delve deep and try to pick out a few words that you think accurately describe your feelings about this problem. So, all of those feelings are quite what we would call negative feelings. They don't bring much joy. They're kind of a burdensome feeling. Not to say that they are wrong, they are not wrong, but they are more pessimistic and a darker emotion. So it doesn't make you feel good or light. Right? So if you could snap your fingers, what changes would you have happen in your life right now to fix that problem, to fix those negative feelings, which are, I might add, very, very normal human feelings? And I think before we go further, I just want to make sure that you don't have any guilt about your emotions. They are valid. Every human experiences them on some level, and no one person is happy all the time. And sometimes it's a good thing that our problems evoke negative emotions, because it lets us know that we need to fix something, and so they can be your allies, little warning signals, so that you can get back on track. So now that I've disclaimed that, so if you could snap your fingers, what changes would you make happen in your life today to fix the problem and get rid of those negative emotions? a lot. A lot of things, that's good. Very good. Absolutely. So, you've listed off quite a few things, which is great. And even though, the phrasing of the question is a little bit weird, what could you, automatically, magically have happen? Well, oftentimes that just really opens our mind and our imagination. So, even though these things may feel unattainable to you at the moment, your mind did pick up on these issues subconsciously, and you're able to spit them out to me. And I believe we will be able to, not in a day, not immediately, but over time, we'll be able to make these changes in your life. I truly believe that. Nothing you have said here is impossible. And it will take work, but it is magical when you think about human resiliency and how we can transform ourselves. So maybe it's not instantaneous, but it's no less miraculous, and it will happen. So great. Alright, we're going to kind of zigzag a little bit more. I would just ask you, how do you describe your mood overall, day to day? Good. Can you tell me what makes you happiest? And what makes you feel the most sad, low, depressed? On a scale of 1 to 10, how skilled are you at regulating your mood? So, for example, if you wake up in the morning and you're feeling quite low for no reason, I'm sure there is a reason, but you can't think of the reason, how adept, how skilled are you at turning it around and boosting your mood? Fair enough. How do you try and get yourself out of a bad mood? Do you think you have a good support system, or do you feel alone? Who in your life? And are these people you feel like you can call at any moment, or? Alright. Overall, do you think you have a low, average, or high relationship skill? Interpersonal relationships, so not just romantic, but with your friends, your family, and etc. Your work relationships as well. How good is your communication? I'm sure that you've heard it before. Communication is key. Communication is extremely important in having a healthy relationship, and if you struggle in that area, you'll find that it's very difficult to express your needs, your wants, your feelings, and through some fault of your own, you will find that people misunderstand you because you're not able to express to them what you need. And though I say through some fault of your own, I don't think it's entirely your fault. I think our education system fails us. Unfortunately, we're not taught at a very young age unless we have parents who miraculously have excellent communication skills, which is unlikely looking at the divorce statistics. Unless we have someone teaching us good communication skills from a young age, it will be very difficult for us to learn. So it's through some fault of your own, but not entirely. And so many people struggle and then have relationship issues. So very, very common. What do you think your biggest weakness is in relationships? Communication. Right, well, I can help you, and I can direct you to some sources that I think are really beneficial when you're trying to learn how to increase your interpersonal IQ at a later age. I believe that you can affect it positively, and I will do my best to direct you to some good sources. And you're also doing a very good job right now. I know you probably feel on edge, you probably feel a little bit anxious. It's natural. If so, you're hiding it very well, but most people feel a little bit nervous in therapy. But you're doing a great job, so I think you might deserve a little bit more credit than you're giving yourself. And there's always room for improvement, but you're very good at communicating what's going on, and it's quite helpful. It makes my job very easy, so I appreciate that. Alright. Okay, what would make you feel overall more satisfied with your life? Already got some things, great. So, how content are you from a scale of 1 to 10 in your life right now? And in my experience being a counsellor, I find sort of two groups of people when they answer this question, and most people fall into the category of saying I'm quite content, like a 7 out of 10. I'm grateful. I know I need to be grateful, but I don't feel as grateful as I should type group. And then there's a group of people who are very, very discontented with their life, but I think for different reasons. Some people are very ungrateful for what they've been given, and others have an innate desire for more that cannot be quenched. And I find it interesting that you fall into that specific category, and I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong to fall in either. It just depends how it makes you feel. So if you're content with your life and you're satisfied and that makes you happy, great. If you're striving for more, you're discontented and you know you can achieve more, and that gives you a feeling of purpose and drive every single day, and that makes you happy, that's great. I always find it interesting to hear what people have to say, because there's never really anyone in the middle. It's always I'm grateful, or I know that I can be better. So is there anything that someone continually does to frustrate you in your life? A person, a thorn in your side? Is there any baggage or resentment that you carry in your life presently? Have you told this person that you have these feelings, or is it something that you repress? I find that to be very common as well. A lot of people, life is not easy. A lot of people have trauma and disastrous history in their life, and that's completely normal, but the way that you move on from that is critical, and it can really transform your relationship with yourself and others, with how you deal with that baggage. So we'll be working on that together as well, delving more deeply into that topic. What do you think it would take you to get past those things that are holding you back? Insightful. Beautiful. I agree. Alright, I believe I've asked you enough questions for today. I don't want to wear you out. We're nearing the end of our session. I think I took some really helpful notes here, and I will review them before our next session so we don't lose any time. And I guess a few things that you can work on before next time homework, if you will. I would encourage you to find an outlet for your emotions and your feelings and thoughts on a daily basis, if you can, and if you feel it's necessary. So I do recommend journaling to most of my clients. It's very helpful to get your thoughts moving. A lot of time people just stay in their head, and it kind of just, they refilter thoughts over and over and over again, and it never gets spilled out to a place where it can be dealt with. And in the process of therapy and counselling, that's a very important part of the process, is we need you to be able to get those thoughts in motion and coming out verbally, so we can look at everything and make decisions. So I would highly recommend that you either journal, or something that a few of my clients prefer is recording a video journal of sorts. So whether they're on their way to work and they just, record themselves talking about their feelings, and they keep a file on their phone, on the computer, and instead of having to sit down and write and take time to spell out each word, it's more immediate, and some of my clients prefer that. So I encourage you to give it a try. I think it will help loosen your lips a little bit and get things a-flowing. And next time we'll go into a little bit more detail on the issues that you're here for, so we can really delve deep and solve the problems. For communication, I would recommend a few books to you. The first, I have my list here. The first is The Art of Storytelling by John Walsh. The next is Made to Stick by Chip and Dan Heath. The next is How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is a little bit more of a self-help book, not so much communication, even though they have very, very valuable tips in there. And then the last one is by Sam Horn, Tongue Fu, How to Deflect, Disarm and Diffuse Any Verbal Conflict. So these books are a good place to start if you're looking to improve your communication, interpersonal relationship skills. But also a quick Google search, you can find your own books. There are plenty. Just pick one that'll be on your homework for the next time, is that you've just picked out a book to help you communicate better. So that, and find an outlet for your words and thoughts moving. But I think this went really well. I hope that this was helpful to you. I'll give you a chance to fill out a survey about this session, so you can let me know how I can improve. And yeah, it was a pleasure meeting and talking to you, and I will see you next time. So please take care, and I'll see you soon.